Welcome back, finally.
It's episode 5 of Fucking Albion.
Oh, come on! The Sports Gaming and More podcast.
There we are, man.
Now, let's just keep going. With me, Bacon, Big Daddy the Beans, Brad, and Josh. How are we doing, lads?
All right, what's that to you then?
Well,
Yeah,
since the last episode, it's been Christmas. And has Santa come for you, boysies? Did you get what you wanted?
Been a long
Right.
Christmas.
It has been a long Christmas, but were you boys good boys this year? Did you get what you wanted?
I was
Nah,
I'm always the naughty bean now.
Oh, you are
Always
naughty, you.
Santa clearly knew what was good for me. He didn't give me cyberpunk. So
Yeah.
Santa helped me fund my Xbox One X.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that. But do you know?
Don't overstep yourself, Santa.
But I must have been a naughty boy myself because there's one thing I wanted and I didn't get. Do you know what that thing was?
My love.
Both of those. Kfc Gaming Console.
Whoa!
The KFC Gaming Console has been announced. Opinions? Would you like
Disclaimer.
chicken gaming console?
We're all having some alcoholic beverages during this podcast.
Yeah. So if you're ices, if you're beans chucking a can at the wall, if you're getting his wife
Should
beat
we
a
all
vest
say
on.
what? Should we all say what we're drinking before we start?
Yeah, go on then. What have we got then,
Yeah,
boys?
alright.
I've got the old Brewdog layer cake, which is a marshmallow.
Oh.
You know what? The viewers don't know what you listen. The listeners don't know what you look like.
Oh, you
They
drunk
know
already?
you have a beard, and they probably think you wear a flat cap just from saying what you just you're
Yeah.
drinking.
He's
Yeah.
wibbly wobbly
I live at
already.
every craft brewery in my local area.
What are you drinking then, Josh? Apparently a lot by the sounds of it.
I'm the cheap and cheerful Jack Daniels.
Why did you move away from your mic, son? Where you going? Going down the shop to get more, you?
Started to look at the Jack Daniels. Easy honey and lemonade. And then when that runs out, Corona.
You know what?
Not the virus.
Thankfully. What have you got then? Bean? Daddy Beanio?
Well, so at the moment, I thought I'd give it a try. I'm drinking Tropical Twist VK for the meme, innit?
Oh, Bean!
but
Bean,
then-
I remember when I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
We're not in fiction,
Yeah.
mate.
Ain't VK what comes out your mother's tit when you're a youngster?
Yeah, go on.
In Britain it does, yeah.
But I've got a crate to the side of me. But what is that crate I'm saying?
What is
Oh,
this?
well, I was the only bought it, so I can't guess.
Rather have a dog fruit soda. Whoa.
Hey! Strong mode dark fruits.
Darkies.
Darky
Beans are setting up his own Weatherspoons then.
Strong mode dank
Get
fruits.
a
Fair
pictures
play.
in now, Brad.
Nathan Bacon, because you think
Yeah.
you're a bit more sophisticated than the rest.
Ooh.
What are you drinking?
I'm drinking Haig Club. Is that pronounced right?
Hague.
Haig
Yeah,
I believe it's
Club Scotch
as in, you know,
whiskey.
Court.
Yeah, the first ever Scotch whiskey I think I've ever tried. On the rocks. In a posh glass, because I'm cool. And I'm
On
ready
the
to
car
go.
Yeah, it's not a posh glass.
Yeah. Fair play. Well, anyway, let's move back on to what we were saying. The KFC Gaming Console. What's everybody's opinions on it?
I love it. I want one. I'll buy one as soon as they're available.
I mean, what's
I
not
would actually love one.
So even just the idea just sounds amazing, doesn't it? Then you get into what it actually gives you. It's the first.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
Cook it or just heat it?
so it
That's my
looks
question.
it looks like a bargain bucket, but obviously it's not a bargain.
Yeah.
It'd probably be like £500-600 at least.
Yeah, but it's a low performance PC basically.
Is it? Because apparently
Mid performance.
they want to get up to 4K 240 frames per second, double the frames of the Series X and the PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah, mid range PC.
And for
Mid-range,
those of us
mate,
who speak
240 frames is not mid-range PC. That's like a grand
Yeah, it
PC.
yeah,
Big
mid
grand
range.
PC. Unless you're playing Roblox, and 240 frames is quite high for most games.
Yeah.
How I speed run.
Yeah, basically. Do you know the best thing about it, though? I don't think they've confirmed everything, but these are some rumours that the controller will be slightly different, where the buttons are shaped like chickens. So instead of A, B, X, Y, you might click the wing, click the breast. Ooh, not spamming the breast.
Imagine you're playing a game like God of War or Jedi Fallen Order. You're gonna mash buttons sometimes, and it's instead of mash Sex, it's mash the beak. You're just there trying to stab a picture of a chicken beak.
When your controller dies, it does like a chicken bark noise.
Massive drumstick. Massive drumstick.
Let's talk about the real feature of this console, though. I think the thing that genuinely is going to sell it for so many people.
Definitely.
Obviously, most people know that consoles can get hot. It's just a fact of life, and they need to be cooled. The PS4 would sound like a jet engine. The Xbox, beans knows, overheats a lot.
Some cases they take off and get the gap.
Yeah,
exactly.
Literally, who needs radiators when you have a console?
They are essentially using this to their advantage. And as chefs, Brad and I know about these things called hot drawers, and they're essentially putting them in to a console. They're going to have a drawer which you can open and shut and put. I want to put this in for some viewers, I don't know. Already cooked chicken, which is hot, into this drawer, and it will keep it warm for you.
Like, what is that?
That's the only reason I'll buy one.
You play.
It could run 30 FPS for me, and I'll buy it.
Yeah.
The first ever console with a built-in chicken warmer. Like, what?
Just imagine, boys, just playing fucking zombies, and you're like mid-game, you're like, oh, you know what? I fancy a bunch.
Yeah, pause game.
Open the drawer,
fancy old breast, I do.
Chicken, and then off you go.
Now, you're in the middle of a Pro Clubs game. Your deliveries are raw. You put boys, pause. Gotta get with Divvy, 30 seconds. Chicken with the game console. You finish your game and then have a chicken afterwards.
Chicken wing.
Absolutely love it. Like, you don't even, the boys have to wait for you to finish your food. Nah, they're just gonna forget you collect the food. Yeah. How good is
no
that?
more training zombies for hours.
I want to add something. Now, this is something I haven't brought up with the boys because only Brad really understand. Only Brad will know what I'm going to say. He doesn't know I'm going to say it. But in different places in the world, there are different laws on how you can set what's it's called hot holding temperature. So it's the temperature you have to keep the food at to be able to legally allow it to remain hot and still eat. Now, that is mainly aimed at restaurants and cafes and whatnot, but like there's a temperature range called the danger zone.
Danger zone.
Where food isn't really safe to eat, and it's between 5 and 65 degrees. So this hot drawer is lovely. This hot drawer essentially has to be above 65 degrees, most cases 70 degrees. So, like, that's really hot for a console.
Yeah, but
I know in Scotland it's different to Wales.
Wait, I have an idea.
My answer
is different to Britain.
Wait, I have an idea.
I assume they would just accommodate the highest on all consoles.
Yeah, they would either do that, or potentially they could just change it to whatever, like, place the console is in. So I was imagine like you're just playing. You're like, no, I fancy my chicken to be a bit hotter today. Let's change it to change my time zone to Scotland, even though that's the same time zone. change my location to Russia, and then I can have a cold, warmer chicken. Let's do it.
It's 5 degrees hotter.
Yeah. Yeah, go on.
Which then begs the question: can you cook in it? Food has to be above 75. Every single item you cook. Well, I'm going to speak broadly, apart from fish and like game and beef. Has to be above 75 degrees, yeah? So, do you think if it goes up to that temperature, technically, you could cook in it?
So,
yeah, probably.
I feel like
it would have to be enough hours.
I feel like it's something we have to try. Why not?
But that also, you know, for it to be efficient, I guess it'd have to be like 170 degrees.
Yeah.
This console. Just fucking burn down your cupboard or whatever.
This is becoming the best console available to you and I.
But my question is, what do you think it'll take to make it a success? Like,
I'm going to come out and I'm going to say the thing that's going to make it a success is memes.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Yeah. Well, apparently
people. If you watch a video from someone like, is it Mark Rober? Does like wacky experiments.
Don't care. Move on.
I don't know about
And imagine he says, can you cook a pizza in the KFC console?
yeah.
He gets millions of views. Millions of people are going to see that and go, I want one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, stuff like that, like,
Yeah.
it already has people, like, assuming, it's not a proper console, but it at least sparks your interest. And
Well, I'm not gonna lie, boys. I thought it was a joke.
I think probably all of us did. Probably all of us did. And, it's not actually, like, fully out yet, so it might even still be a joke.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even know how much it's going to be yet.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
But they want it to be cross-platform
that's
with every console, though, like Xbox, PlayStation.
That would be mad.
Yeah, but it's
Switch.
running on on Intel, isn't it? So it's not necessarily a console.
I think I think they'll probably.
Xbox or
I think
PS4 it is.
I think they'll have a KFC OS or something, some kind of operating system.
But
It
needs to be realistic. Like they can't be charging 450 quid for this. Like,
Well, if
people
it-
just aren't going to pay that.
If it does 4K 240 frames, then that's better than the Series X.
Well, yeah, but there's still a risk. Like, you don't know how it's going to perform really.
Yeah, true. True.
You know,
They need to be a bit wary of that.
Or maybe you can compare it to the next gen consoles, like the
Yes, you
PS5
can.
or the Series X.
Xbox have a personality. The actual Microsoft, the Xbox branch of the Microsoft company have a personality. Who goes by the name Larry Herb, also known as Major Nelson. And now, if that isn't KFC related, I don't know what is.
Major
Larry Herb,
Yeah.
Major Nelson,
Hey.
Colonel Sanders, 11 herbs and spices.
Hey.
They need to buy this. They need to get this man off Xbox.
What if KFC and Microsoft worked together to defeat PlayStation? What if KFC was the hidden piece of the puzzle to shut them down?
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Yeah, well,
It'd just be funny.
yeah, fair play.
Then
But
KFC would turn on Xbox.
yeah.
Larry, if you're listening to this, go to KFC.
We'd have the Colonel
11
versus
herbs and spices, bro.
Yeah.
in Las Vegas.
Which is a little fun fact if you don't know. I think it's fairly well known now, though. The official KFC account, I think it might be either like the UK or the American one.
I know.
They only follow 11 people
Yeah.
on Twitter. All of the Spice Girls and the rest are men called Herb.
That's funny.
So, KFC, they've already sort of implemented themselves as a funny brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
I
only
think
that,
is.
yeah.
Do you know, I'm talking like this because me and Brad have just had an assignment due that is like just like marketing. Yeah. And this is a really good marketing tactic. Be funny, be relatable to like your current target audience.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And we are their target audience. Us four are their target
Literally,
audience.
yeah.
I'm pretty much addicted to KFCs.
Yeah.
Me and Brad order KFC like so many times a month in uni.
Yeah.
I probably had it at least
Yeah,
2 or
we
3
can't
times
afford
a
it, we
week
make
when
our
I
own.
lived by there, yeah. It was mad.
I mean, how can you not like fried chicken, you know?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
And if you're vegan, have a fried cauliflower. It's great.
They-
You're laughing, but fried cauliflower is
Yeah.
bloody lovely.
I've got a taste for cauliflower. I'm
But
actually.
they lovely.
Yeah. My Judy.
Judy, baby.
Right, well, talking about consoles,
Oh, yeah? What's this then?
I've recently acquired
The Xbox One! No.
Xbox Series X.
Whoa!
Bought a mini fridge.
Way!
I tell you what,
Could've
it's
bought
not
a
a
big
mini.
fridge.
It's nothing like a mini fridge.
Have you tried putting KFC chicken on top of it? See how it does.
I tried, boys, but it doesn't float like I thought it would.
Ah, come on.
Because of
Terrible.
the ventilation, how the ventilation works, it stays so cool. It's brilliant.
Nah, that's
Like,
not brilliant if you want chicken.
Performance-wise,
Make a
how's
good
it doing? Like, what games have you played on it so far?
It's blowing me away.
Ooh.
Yeah?
All right.
I'm gonna sound a bit like Bryn in Gavin Stacey.
I'll go on.
5,000 songs. No, anyway. So this Xbox, for me, turns on in I'm not exaggerating, about a second.
That seems quite slow.
And turns off his Xbox like a hard turn off and turn it off at the wall. I do all that because I want to save the polar bears.
Fair play, fair play.
And
Good
And
lad,
then
good
as soon
lad,
as
good
I turn it
lad.
on, it turns on like a split. It's like a split second. It's like nothing, and it scares me how quick it could turn
Hang on, you just said it was a second, now split second. That's not the same. We need some consistency in here.
Yeah.
How much?
Right.
How long does it
Well,
take?
Believe us.
Me and the boys like to play pro clubs, yeah.
Well,
And the
hey,
last time we played pro clubs was easily over a week ago. Okay,
About a week ago.
No, it was like it was a weekend, wasn't it?
let's just say a week. Let's just say a week for argument's sake. We'll say it was a week ago. Okay, I've played about 3-4 different games since then, and I've turned the Xbox on every day and night since then. Earlier, I launched FIFA for the first time in a week, and it picked up on the exact same screen that I left it on Pro Clubs.
Really?
yeah, it doesn't disconnect you or anything.
I didn't
Nice.
know it was that good. It is blowing. Like, so I don't even have a 4K 120 hertz monitor with the brand new 2.1 HDMI lead, right? I don't even have that. But my games have never looked so good. One of my monitors is 1080p, and the other one is Ultra HD. And on both of them, they look so good.
Josh.
Oh.
Ultra HD is 1080p, bro.
There we are.
I'm such a sucker for marketing. The viewers are here for.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought my games look so good. I've got a few XS games, as they're called. You know, the ones that are available on the Xbox One, Series X, and Series S. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got Warzone and Cold War. I've got FIFA, and I've got Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah.
And they all look like they are unnoticeably faster.
Yeah.
And noticeably different.
Even without
They
the better
are
monitor
incredible.
or screen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as soon as I can afford one and it's at a reasonable price, I'm not going to spend thousands of pounds on one.
No.
Or, you know, I'm not
It's
going
not
to spend
worth
more
it
than
at
like
that point, yeah.
£400 on one.
Yeah.
But like, as soon as I can afford a reasonably priced one, I'll be getting it. And I'll be saying how different it looks. Because if it looks this different on a regular monitor now,
Yeah.
I can only imagine how good it looks. Like, I've got a 4K TV in my uni flat, and I played the Xbox One Series S on that, which is the white one.
No,
with
not
the disc
Series
tray.
S. Xbox One S.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, thank you, Beacon.
Yeah,
That's
Josh, Jesus.
That one. And like, Valhalla looked great on that. And
Yeah,
I mean,
it
really
is.
good. On a
Yeah.
4K, 60 hertz TV, and it still doesn't look as good as it does on a HD one with the Series X.
Yeah. Fair play.
Like, this Xbox is so good. I was so happy when I got one, genuinely.
Yeah.
So happy when I got one, because it was so hard to get a hold of.
Oh, yeah.
I was refreshing like Stock Informer. I had, right, genuinely, for days in a row now, I had Stock Informer, Argos, Smiths, PC Curries, and John Lewis, all tabs open, refreshing. And I'm talking, I refresh like three or four times each tab in a minute.
Fair play, fair play.
Like,
Yeah,
I
but one
really
time-
wanted to get one. And I
That one
did.
time I woke up
And I'm
for work
so happy.
at 6 o'clock. They
Yeah.
all had them in stock, and my dad was calling me. You were 6 o'clock. So get up.
So, yeah.
Oh.
5th episode secret in. Big Daddy with the Beans is actually my stepbrother.
Whoa.
And he was trying to ring me. He was trying to ring me and call me at
What
6
are you
o'clock in the
doing,
morning.
step bro?
Exactly. And call me at 6 o'clock in the morning, telling me that the Sainsbury's by my house had them in stock. And by the time I woke up and seen all these messages, they'd been out of stock for hours, because they got out of stock like in seconds, in absolute seconds.
They ran out of stock by 7 o'clock. I was like,
Mad.
oh, well.
Mad.
But I still managed to get one, and I'm so happy. And you know, big like he's the more tech one out of all of us.
Yeah.
And he likes to say and joke and all that. He's like, well, why'd you bother? And I'm like, you know, I kind of agreed with him for a while. It's like, there's not much point in getting one straight away
Yeah.
because I don't have the monitor for it. But you're so wrong, man. It is so much better than the Xbox One in every way.
Yeah, that's the question I was going to ask. Even though it's faster and looks better, is that with £400?
Yeah.
You think so?
I paid for it. Yeah, 100%. Technically, I paid more because I can't drive, so I paid petrol to go and get it. But still,
yeah. See, I would argue if you don't have a screen, it won't be. But I will also say
you're wrong.
Yeah, like it's not like it's a bad thing. It's still gonna last you at least 5 or so years. Am I the only one here still with the original Xbox One?
Well, I got mine the summer after, so summer 2015.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
Day one edition.
No, mine was not day one, but it was one of the first not day one ones, and it's one of the ones with a broken disc tray. So that definitely is one of the first ones, and it still managed to last me 7 years now.
Yeah.
Wait, when did it come out? 2014.
Your disc tray is broken.
Yeah.
Big loves to sleep until about 2:00 in the afternoon, and I went over his uni flat once and slept on the floor, and I wanted to play Black Ops 3, and he was asleep, and I didn't want to wake him up. I could not get the disc in his tray.
Wait! You were trying to do what to be in my sleep? Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
One question I want to ask about it. Can you have multiple games on at once?
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah. I didn't know what the extent was, but since I last played FIFA, I've played Assassin's Creed, I've played Monopoly, I've played a lot of Cold War. Some may say 4 or 5 hours in one game.
You can say, go on, flex.
Fine. I got to round 126 on zombies.
Fair play.
And I think that's what I've played since then. So if you say FIFA, Monopoly, Assassin's Creed, and Valhalla, that's 3 different games, and Cold War. 3 games after FIFA, and then relaunching FIFA today, it left on the same screen. It was turned off multiple times.
That's mad.
So,
well, the thing is, with a game like
you can play multiple games at once, Brad.
With a game like FIFA, you probably don't see it as much. But like a game like Assassin's Creed Story, or like Cyberpunk, which when you want to load up a story, you can just pause it from where you are, and then just go into a different game and then come back. Or like you go in career mode on FIFA. Cyberpunk? You don't want to talk about Cyberpunk. What? It's the best game in the world.
So, I had awful experience with Cyberpunk. I bigged it up, and in fact, I still think I'll tell my listeners, I got the refund. There was a refund offered to Xbox players, and I took it because my game became borderline unplayable for me.
Yeah.
It was so unenjoyable by the time that I got maybe 2 hours into the story. So, I don't want to say anything about the story because it's spoilers. Nathan, you finished it, haven't you?
I have actually completed Cyberpunk, and I want to say my experience was different from yours, because even though my console's actually worse, I got less crashes. My game only probably crashed 2 or 3 times through the entire thing, which I guess isn't too bad at all. Obviously, like, you don't want it to crash at all, but...
I was playing...
And then also I didn't have any other bugs. And the actual story for me was actually really good. But I can see why, even though the story's good, that you won't enjoy it at all just because of all the bugs and all the crashes.
When I started playing it, I didn't have the Series X. I had the Xbox One, the one you said, Bake, the white one.
Yeah.
And it crashed so much. It genuinely became unplayable. The first hour, I raved about it in podcast 2 and podcast 3.
Yeah, I think you actually summed it up quite well, saying it has good potential, but you don't know yet.
Yeah, I think that's still the case.
Yeah, definitely for you.
So I think that's still the case for me. So I might take it off your hands. I'm gonna rebuy it eventually for the Xbox Series X.
You definitely need to try it on that, because I feel like it doesn't crash as much on that.
That's what because I put about 3 hours into it, not very much at all. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
but some of it's pretty off-putting. Like the texture's not loading properly. That is a bit off-putting. I'd rather just play it for the when I can play it.
Yeah.
So my issue lies a lot with the studio, CG Projekt Red, and now
studio.
There we go.
They have obviously released amazing games. The first one that comes to mind is obviously The Witcher 3, which is a game
Oh
that
yeah,
I haven't completed,
And 1 and 2.
but I love.
Yeah.
Okay. And like I said, I think Cyberpunk has got the potential. And like I said, I played maybe 2 hours into the main story. This is a bit of a meme between us boys, but I love the side quests. I love completing them. See, laughed straight away.
Well, the thing is, because you only play like 5-6 hours, you pretty much did 5-6 hours of side quests. Where I just completed the story, and now I'm done.
Almost
and now you have done the story.
Yeah, almost entirely.
You probably don't even know any of the story now.
I know a small amount of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, what was I saying?
I don't know.
Told you I'm on the drink, boys.
Well, you can't tell.
Right. So basically, I want to play it on the series Xbox Series X because it is promising so much. A lot of the gameplay I've seen that looks brilliant is already on the next gen consoles. So I'm hoping it will perform a lot better. And I want to be able to give it a more fairer review, but at the same time, I don't know if reviewing it from the Xbox Series X is a fair review entirely, because not everyone can get one and not everyone can afford one. And that's it. The company put out this game sort of knowing it wasn't ready. Like, fair enough, they delayed it a lot. Okay, they delayed it a lot. I can only imagine how, for the lack of a better word, shit it would have been if they ended up releasing it in April like they originally intended.
If anything, they probably should have done that, because if it's still this state now, it would have been more forgiving. Be like, right, it's really not ready, get it now. Instead of we'll wait, and now it's ready. No, it's fucking not.
Precisely. And I'm glad they stalled it. But you know what? I know it's easy to say now because we've played the so-called finished version, but I wouldn't be mad if they delayed it again because it needed it.
Yeah.
It so needed it.
I wouldn't be mad.
And there was an interview. Go on, Brad. Sorry, mate.
I wouldn't have been mad if they delayed it. You know, it just would have been the extra wait. It wouldn't have annoyed me at all. I know it would have annoyed some people, but personally, it would have just...
patience is a virtue, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
I think we're all like that, though. We'd rather wait and just wait for it to be good, rather than we really want to play.
They would have got no refunds. I'd like to cut to the clip though of Bean telling people to shut the fuck up because they're delaying it.
It's true though. It's true though.
It was true.
No, I'm completely on your side, man.
If they delayed it again,
so many people fucking complaining, saying, "Oh, why are you delaying it? Just release it." No, it's because they were working their fucking asses off during the fucking pandemic, trying to make something really good, enjoyable.
Is that the audio clip then, or was that Bean saying it?
Well, I was adding more bits in.
What I'm talking about is there was an interview with the CEO, I believe, of CG Projekt Red, and someone asked him, "Do you think you should have released this?" I'm paraphrasing. I want to add, "Do you think you should have released this game in the state it's in?" And his answer was essentially, "I didn't know it was in this state." Which is he'd make a great politician, firstly. Secondly, is an awful answer. And I'm not blaming him, and I'm not blaming anyone because they really clearly tried their damned hardest to produce an amazing game.
Stuff like that happens.
The issue is, if he doesn't know, if the CEO of this company that is releasing a game doesn't know how bad that game is, then there's seriously flaws there.
I think the thing you got to remember is he has got more to worry about than the game being released. They've probably got other projects in line which he's got to worry about. He's probably got shareholders on his back saying, "Why is your game being delayed? Why is it not being released now? Put money into this game, and we're expecting it to be released in April for them to get a return on it." He's got that to think about. They have to kind of push it out, I guess.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works in the gaming industry, where like the developers probably won't even talk to the higher up people ever, and apparently a lot of them were always saying the game is really not ready and they want to push it out, but obviously to the investors and to all the thing, they promised a certain deadline and they just got to do it by then. And but that just couldn't do it in time.
If there was more delays, I think if they've delayed it and then released the finished game, say, God, even if it was a year after this, next December, people would have forgotten the delays. People would have just genuinely be happy to have had a good game. But
yeah,
I wonder.
If the game could have held up, you'd have gone, you know what? Those delays were worth it.
But I also wonder.
Now people have got refunds and have complained about the game. People like us and other consumers are saying, delay it again.
I have a friend who works in like some game, but it's either like Game or CX or something. And obviously, the company said we will offer you refunds. They also said take it to like the suppliers, so like to Game and all them. They didn't actually tell Game any of that though.
Oh really?
Some of these companies, the one he was working with, he said they didn't tell them. So we had people coming in asking for refunds. He was like, "Well, no, because it's not to do with us. You got to take it on them."
Right. Yeah.
And then they just they had to do it anyway.
Well, yeah, obviously the digital, we got full refunds on digital. I'm not sure how it works on physical.
That's worse because a company like Game, if you don't know, is a franchise. It's not necessarily a CEO, company. It's not an organization. So, I could go and buy a plot and ask to have a game there, and it'd be me that's losing the money there, not a massive corporation like Game, in the sense of Game.
Yeah.
So, not having a game that ready has so many more implications upon the people lower than the CEO and the CG Project Red than they realize. And whereas Bake had a great experience with the game, and that is brilliant. Yeah, he got to finish the story, and he says he really enjoys it. And I'm sure that I'll finish the story and I'll really enjoy it on my Series X. But there's people that might go, you know what? Nah, that game was shit. I'm not going to play it again. And that might really, hinder CG Project Red in the future. If they ever wanted to make like a Witcher 4, whoever knows if that would happen, that might really hinder them. Because I don't know if many of listeners played The Witcher. I don't think any of you boys have really played it.
No.
It's such an in-depth, really good game.
I played Witcher 3, but that was about it.
That's the first one I played, yeah.
Maybe a Witcher title they would get away with, because The Witcher already carries its own. I didn't even know they made that game. The Witcher was just its own thing to me. I know obviously I knew it had the developers, but I didn't know they were it. But if they wanted to release like a new title from the ground up, they're going to struggle.
Yeah, but then again, can they just pull the COVID card and just say like, look, look at the circumstances. Like, this is not who we are as a company. We can do better. It was just the circumstances we were in.
I agree, but I think calling it the COVID card is a bit of a nonchalant way of saying it.
Potentially.
Because, pulling the COVID card, it just sounds like a cheap trick, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
yeah, but like they're obviously blaming it on COVID, even though they're still working.
Category. Even though that game was sort of teased around as early as 2011 or 2012, I don't quite remember, but it was one of those 2 years. Because if you didn't know, Nathan, I called you Nathan. That was really weird.
Whoa!
If you didn't know, Megan, the cyberpunk is actually originally a board game.
Yeah.
So the game itself has technically been around for years, like since the 90s or 80s or something like that. And they have argued that this game is good enough to continue from that, and that's where a lot of the argument is that if you just play the story like you did, and you're a fan of the board game, which is what created its popularity in the first place, that there's nothing wrong with it. And CG Project Red could play that card, if you want to say such a term. But they did definitely fall under the negative COVID umbrella. That they needed to work from home, they couldn't really go to their office, and it was difficult to produce that game. And yes, they're a massive company and they have a profit to turn, but they've also got to realize that they have, their profit comes from this audience, and they've had so many refunds that they need. I know we're speaking in hindsight, and it's such a thing to talk about, but. Yeah, another delay. My final piece is that another delay wouldn't have hurt anyone that much.
Yeah.
It's depending on the delay. Do you think it would have been enough?
I think so, yeah. I think another delay would have helped us out.
If they delayed it again, they might as well just not even bother with.
Well, I wonder Oh yeah, I wonder if they genuinely think that it's past the point of no return. They genuinely think they can't fix it. So
They
like,
might have
we
thought
might
that.
as well just get it out now.
Yeah, maybe they did.
All right, let's sum up that. Oh, go on, Bean.
In my opinion, I reckon if it didn't come out when it did, it would still be delayed. Probably.
Yeah.
Most likely, yeah.
That's in my opinion, anyway.
Well, yeah, they wouldn't be out yet, I guess. If
Yeah.
they really were going to fix it, I'd say it would have been probably April.
Yeah.
Most likely, yeah.
All right, let's just sum it up then. If you do really want to play Cyberpunk, just wait. Just pretend it doesn't get released for another 2 years, and that is that. And that is that.
Maybe we can have agree with one is the last thing. Maybe Josh can give us an assessment of how it is on the new Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can give us an update.
Whoa! What is that noise here? What is that noise in my ear hole?
Been a couple of weeks, boys, but it's back. And I mean, you know, I haven't written any more since
harder than ever.
What is it though, for people who don't know?
If you don't know, guys, it's episode 5. Come on.
Right? Yeah, like
I mean, sure five.
I mean, come on.
What it is for now.
Yeah, exactly.
Our 6 listeners know what I'm on about.
Yeah.
Mania!
Whoa! Watch Mojo Mania!
If you know what Watch Mojo is, they do top 10s. They do a lot.
Too many.
A lot.
Too many.
Some would say.
Of literally everything.
Too many. Yes.
Everything.
Anyway, I'm going to name 3 top 10s. One of them is a real Watch Mojo top 10. The other 2 are fake because I have too much time on my hand, and I believe that I can create a real title of a Watch Mojo top 10. There are 3 rounds. Are you ready, gentlemen?
Well, do you want to quickly go across the scores, as you forget every time?
Don't remember them.
The only score I remember is mine, because I am yet to score. I am yet to score a single point.
Josh has a tally at the bottom of his document.
Yes, Josh. Thank you, Sober Josh. You reminded Wibbly Wobbly Josh what the scores is.
Not for long, Ubi.
So,
coming for you.
Bacon is on a grand total of 0.
Yeah, just skip that one. Mate, it's going to change now. It's going to change to -1.
Guys, he's had 12 opportunities to get a point, and he has none.
Come on. Come on.
Brad is on 6, so you have a 50% record. Pretty good. Big Daddy with the beans is on 8.
8?
I like it.
What? I thought he was on 7.
The last episode was a bit of a special episode because it was all Christmas related. But this one, back to normal. I'm just scrolling down my Google Doc until I found ones we haven't answered.
Right, just... Oh, you aren't even prepared. Oh, come on. Whap them out and get ready.
No, I'm prepared. I know which ones I'm going to ask, but I'm just letting everyone know that I use Google Docs and Microsoft Word because it's the most superior document.
Very much
For the listening impaired.
Okay.
For the listening impaired.
Gentlemen,
go on, Josh.
Same rules apply. I will say all 3 whilst you are thinking. I will explain the 3 of them.
All right.
You ready?
Always.
Yeah, go on, Josh. Go on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Watch Mojo Mania. Your first round tonight is Top 10 Cadbury Bars.
Oh.
Top 10 iconic cheeses. Top 10 brands of cola. So, the boys are going to think, I will explain to the listeners at home. Top 10 Cadbury Bars. Cadbury was recent. It was not recent at all. Cadbury was bought out by an American company, so hopefully our American listeners will know. Cadbury is a company here that make chocolate. Very famous milk chocolate company. They have hundreds of different variety of chocolates. Top 10 Cadbury chocolate bars, essentially. Top 10 iconic cheeses. It's so self-explanatory. I'm going to move on. Top 10 brands of cola. Top 10 brands of cola is so simple. You have off-brand cola. You have real brand Coca-Cola. Top 10 brands of cola. You can have top 10 brands of Coke. Top 10 brands of cola. You know, it's just that dark, fizzy, nectar, beautiful drink that I've been told to stop drinking because I'll die.
Yeah, basically.
I'm gonna... Top 10 brands of cola. It's that easy. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start off by asking Daddy Beans, what do you think the answer is?
I think because I'm a large person. I think it's gonna be top 10 Cadbury chocolate bars. I reckon.
Chocolate bars. Okay.
Best.
Yeah, chocolate bars. I've locked in my answer.
He's locked in with Cadbury Bars.
Yeah, man.
Nathan Bacon.
Right. I
What
don't
are you gonna
think
tell us?
I don't think I know the answer because I know the answer. I don't actually. But I'm gonna go for top 10 colas
Oh.
because
Yeah.
I hate cheese.
I hate you.
And that's it. I hate cheese. Well, I hate dry
Hey,
cheese.
you know-
Dry cheese is literally nightmares for me. Boys, it gives you nightmares at night. Why would you eat cheese?
And do you know what I'm going to
This is
do?
you.
I'm going to do our favourite thing that I'm sure the listeners also love. Talk us through the board.
Right. Okay. Oh, I'm at the
So
moment.
braggy.
I'm trying to like imagine the American lady's voice saying them, like just to see if they sound right.
Welcome to Top 10
There was a
Mojo.
British
Welcome.
version. There is a Canadian version, which is their version, which is also the American version. There's a Spanish version. There's a French version. There is a
Alright.
female version.
Yeah, well, I'm imagining the American lady.
Top 10, alright. Alright, carry
Number
on.
10, caramel.
Top 10,
Yeah, I think-
cheese!
No, I don't think it's.
Everything
Coke.
but lettuce.
I don't think it's Coca-Cola because
That's not what I
you
said.
know,
Yeah, Brad.
top 10 cola brands or whatever it was.
There's a lot of
I
cola
don't think
brands
it's
in
that.
America.
Okay.
Maybe there is roller cola that you get from
That's a
Lidl. or something.
lot of fake
Does
Coke in America.
Wait, doesn't Dr. Pepper not class as cola, isn't it?
Well,
It's not cola,
I
that's
should
why.
have explained. That is my thinking when I made that up.
Ah!
You're just giving that away now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Sorry, Big.
Ah, you've already spoiled the
Oh,
answer.
damn.
Oh,
Right,
no!
well,
No, he's
no.
formed an alliance with Brad
This
now.
one's
Brad
not fair.
knows not to choose that one. That's not fair.
Right, what's your answer?
Josh, you get -1 score. I'm now second bottom.
I think it's chocolate bars. I don't think it's cheeses.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
Brad, I preemptively typed your name as getting it correct, but you didn't. The
Ah.
answer is top 10 iconic cheeses.
Oh, Josh, I knew you'd choose cheeses because you know I don't like cheese.
Ah,
You
come on.
bloody-
Now
bloody
Nathan,
cheese
what
nipple.
classes as an iconic cheese. Like, is fucking Brie not iconic enough for you? or
So
something?
honest with you boys right now. I watched this episode years ago.
Oh, come on.
I remember nothing of it.
Back in the day.
There we are. Then.
I don't know. Brie's got to be on there because that's my favorite cheese. If it's not on there, then I'm gonna throw a fit.
Right, come on. We're not the cheesy podcast. Move on.
Let's roll. Ladies and gentlemen, top 10 dog names.
Oh,
Top 10 dog names.
Josh, you sound like you've
Top
fallen off your
10.
chair when you said that.
I
Names!
was just trying to hurry it up.
falling over with camping chair.
Top 10 bird species.
Right.
Top 10 owls in TV and movies.
Ooh.
Ladies and
Ooh.
gentlemen, top 10 dog names. BINGO. Bingo was his name-o. Top 10 names given to dogs. Top 10 bird species. Who doesn't love a blue tit?
Hey.
Top 10 owls in TV and movies. Hedwig, why did you have to die? That's
Wow.
enough explanation
Oh,
from
come
me.
on. Why'd you have to bring that up? Why'd you have to do that?
Nathan Bacon.
I'm gonna
Have you
go.
had enough time to think?
No, but I'm just gonna go for it. I don't need to
Are you
think.
with the beans?
I am an expert at this. I do not need time to think to still score 0, right? So I might as well
Alright.
save my energy. And
Alright.
because I have the dogos, I'm going for the woof! The dog names. Number 1 is
Right.
Lexi. That's all.
Okay, Lexi's the worst of your dogs.
Ah, come on!
I'm gonna go on now to Brad.
Oh.
What are you gonna give us
Okay.
as your answer? And I'm not asking you to talk us through the board.
I'm not going to put it through the board because that gives Beans an advantage. Can't be having that, can I?
Ooh.
Right.
Oh.
So what was it? Dog names, owls in TV and film, and bird species.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean the owls and birds are swapped around, but you Take it how you like.
Bird species. Why not? I like a bird.
Okay.
I like a bird on night out.
Big Father with the legume. What is your answer?
Study the beat.
But to be fair, there is quite a lot of birds out there, isn't there? To be fair,
that is fair.
You know 15 of them quite well.
Thanks for being fair to the birds.
Bait, cut that out.
That's being cut. This part's not though.
Start again.
No, carry on.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with top 10 birds.
He's copying me. He's copying me every answer.
I was gonna go with that anyway.
I'll be out with that.
So
I can't overtake beans this week.
I can confirm Nathan is wrong.
As always. Come on. Wait, what? Again? Are you mad? Are you mad?
That leaves top 10 bird species and top 10 owls in TV and movies. I thought this one was so obvious.
Josh, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
Top 10.
If I don't get the third one right, I'm actually gonna put a hole in my wall. Alright, I'm not even lying. Right.
Damn you, Monster Energy.
Is top 10 owls in TV and movies. Hedwig was number 1, boys.
I was gonna go for
that one.
I was gonna go for that one, but I didn't. So.
Oh well.
Okay.
Well,
it's not good enough. That doesn't matter.
Come on.
That's actually sad news.
All right, guys. Third and final round. The last chance for this week for Nathan to score at least a single point.
Maybe.
Top 10 KFC menu items.
KFC Gaming Console on that?
Top 10 disgusting junk food fails. Top 10 pasta shapes. Whilst the boys think, I'll explain. Top 10 KFC menu items. KFC have far more than 10 things on any of their items wherever you are in the world.
And
I will give them
the Big Daddy with a bean.
a little help here by saying that this was in fact made by the American version / Canadian version of Watch Mojo. Top 10 junk food fails. Junk food brands that brought out crappy items. Top 10 pasta shapes. Shapes of pasta. Come on. We're not in nursery. You know what it means.
Can I just stop you there?
If you really have to.
Did you just say that the top 10 KFC was made by the American one?
Yeah.
Right.
So to give you a hint. That's your hint.
There we
KFC menu items. Top 10 KFC menu items.
are. Brad, I don't think he's clocked on yet.
He's top 10.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
Are you ready to answer?
Yeah, man.
Your silence.
Top
Okay.
10 KFC.
Josh, you're the host. You're supposed to choose. Come on.
Brad, what's your answer?
Top 10 KFC items.
Nathan, what's your answer?
Just for the Big Daddy with the beans and the KFC Gaming Console, those got to be up there. I'm going for the KFC items.
Big Daddy with the beans. What's your answer?
Big Daddy with the bean.
Yo.
Well, I love my food, so it's going to be KFC top 10 KFC menu items.
So all of you pick top 10 KFC menu items.
We did.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, funnily enough, we did.
You're all wrong.
Someone's done it.
Oh, wait, what?
So why did you tell us it was made by the American team?
Yeah.
Fuck you all, man. I did what I
Josh
was
is
doing
having
the
us.
whole time.
Josh is having us
You
on.
all,
Oh, come on.
you all on. The
So,
answer is the real Watch Mojo video that exists. It's top 10 disgusting junk food fails.
that was an epic
So,
fail.
It's not one
You
right.
actually pranked us.
I can confirm that in this series of Watch Mojo, this episode of Watch Mojo Mania,
No one had a point.
no one got anything right. So the scores stay at the scores on the doors by George Dawes Remain as Beans 8, Brad 6, and Bake 0.
Hey! Bottom of the league, bottom of the league, bottom of the league. Boys are going to get relegated. I'm going to turn into the awesome Josh. Going to start playing now instead. Come on. Come on.
So many of these made.
Right.
Well, that was fun.
That was fun.
Cheers, Josh.
Hey,
Cheers,
hey,
Josh.
Throw me a Coke.
So I've only got 6
come
of these left. I'm going to start making more. Hopefully they can get a point.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully you can. Let's see how long you can go.
Yeah, I'm not even doing it on purpose. That's the thing.
It's unbelievable that you have 0.
I know.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get more viewers just because they want to back you. They want you to get points.
Fair play.
But you won't.
But maybe one day I will. Maybe one day I will get to 180 points. Whoa, 180. What happens?
That sounds like the darts.
The darts championship. All right. Come on. The darts championship just happened, and we all watched it. And, just happened. It was like 2 weeks ago now, wasn't it?
It just happened. They're going to think we recorded this a lot earlier than we put it out.
No, it just happened since the last episode, is what I mean.
12 days ago.
Right, okay, right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it was pretty damn good,
final.
So in the final, it was Scottish boy, the Flying Scotsman, Gary Anderson.
Flying Scotsman.
The Iceman, Kieran Price, ex-rugby player, of course.
The Welsh Kieran Price, and we're all Welsh, and he won for the Welshie boys. He
did.
I
think that's the first. Well, it's the first ever Welshman to get past the semi-finals.
The first Welshman to win that championship. It is.
Yeah.
It is, and he got to the semi-final last time and final this time. And it was absolutely fantastic, wasn't it? It was fantastic.
He was a professional rugby player,
Yeah, fair play.
He was, yeah. Did he play for South Wales team as well, Brad?
No, he played. So he played like a semi-pro, amateur level. Played for Neath, a team called Cross Keys. Yeah, but then he did play professionally for Glasgow Warriors. And
did he really?
Yeah, I think he just.
So he's got Scottish roots, and then he beat a Scotsman.
Yeah. He pretty much chucked it all the way to play darts, and in fairness,
he's just won what 500 grand from that.
Yeah.
It's now 250, $250,000.
250.
Oh,
250 was set.
Oh, that's terrible. Rugby.
No, I think he won.
Yeah,
I
hate to just be given 250 grand.
Only 250 grand.
Sponsorship deals. Boo.
Only 250 grand. Come on.
To beat Gary Anderson, who's won it like 4 times.
I thought he hasn't won it.
It was an interesting tournament though. Like Michael Van Gerwen, he was the favourite, got knocked out before the semi-finals.
Yeah, he's won so many. He's won so many championships as well, hasn't he, Van Gerwen?
Oh yeah, and Stephen Bunting put a good shift in.
Hey,
should we tell that story? Story?
Yeah, you know what, Bake? Even though it happened to me, I want you to tell it.
All right.
Because I'm wibbly wobbly.
Yeah, and you probably don't even remember it properly, do you?
I do. But you go ahead.
Right.
I want you to tell it like it's a J.R.R. Tolkien book.
So
it's The Hobbit. Set the scene. Make us engaged.
Right, so what's happening, boss? We're in Mackey's. We're in Mackey D's. No, all right. We had a night out in the Swansea town that we are. For I don't know what the night out was for. It doesn't matter. I've been on so many nights out. It doesn't really care. Reasons. Anyway, we were in McDonald's and some random person turned to Josh and went, "Are you Stephen Bunting?" And we were like, "Who is Stephen Bunting?"
We never knew who he was.
We never know who Stephen Bunting is. And we got up a photo, and turns out he does kind of look like Stephen Bunting, doesn't he, Josh, to be fair?
Especially when I've got the short hair.
Yeah. So basically, Stephen Bunting is actually on this podcast, and we're actually a darts podcast. Sorry to tell you this.
Stephen Bunting. I'm sorry to let you all know.
Well, to be fair, Josh, well done on getting quarterfinals, semi-finals, whatever the fuck you did.
That's the quarters.
No, semis, you got two.
Brad will remind me who I got knocked out by, because I don't remember.
The winner!
Yeah, it was by Kieran Price.
So
that's the best person I got knocked out by.
And in fairness, I think Stephen Bunting was like, I think he was 3-1 up at one point.
Yeah, he was winning, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, he was putting a good shift in, and then it just came tumbling down. There. He missed a couple
Back
of
to the final, though.
missed a couple of doubles.
Yeah.
Josh, cracking under pressure you are. Come on, lad. Come
I'm
on.
sorry, boys.
You can do better. You can do better.
I'm sorry, I try. It doesn't normally happen to me being a chef cracking under pressure. But it did, apparently.
Oh, what do you mean, chef? You're a darts player. Not chef, what are you on about?
Going back to the final, though, honestly, it's almost surprising that Gary Anderson only won like one leg.
What was his name?
Didn't he won three?
Gary Anderson.
Gary? Oh, yeah, that's the other guy. Fuck, never mind.
He won
Never mind.
He won the 3 legs.
They didn't win 3 legs. Oh,
Yeah, he's 7-3 because
yeah, I put a bet on for him to win
wrong.
7-3, and I put a bet on for Guin to have the most
But
180s
still,
and win.
I mean,
And he did.
the last leg was so intense.
It was.
Because Gerwin and Gary missed so many chances to win their set.
The last 2 legs were intense because Guin could have won. He should have won. He had a win in dart, and he missed it.
You know what I've got to say? Gary Anderson, the Flying Scotsman, took it really well.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was a good loser, to put it politely, because you see a lot of darts players, including Gary himself, who have taken losses quite badly.
I haven't, to be fair.
I like it.
Josh cut out, is he?
Yeah, I think so.
I cut my arm quite deeply whilst I was gone.
Wait, how?
How's that?
Oh shit, that's actually really going through my top.
Yeah.
It's not a big cut, but it's deep. Well, the girls wouldn't go to bed, so I said, look, I'll lay with you for a minute. And I fell out of Mum's bed. And she had broken glass on her windowsill. Because why wouldn't you have broken glass on the windowsill?
Oh my god.
And where did my arm land?
Oh dear.
In the broken glass.
Can I keep this in the
okay?
podcast?
Oh dear.
And also, yeah.
Fine.
Are you okay to carry on?
Fine. Boys, I will die on this podcast if I have to.
He's about to bleed out.
Chuck the plaster on it.
Revive me, I have recon.
But boys, in the Dartio, in the Tidy Dart Championship, they have walk-in music when they come in. And I ask you this question.
Whoa.
What song and what dance, more importantly the dance maybe, would you have whilst you are entering the final? Let's pretend it's the final. You want to go all out. Who wants to go first?
Now, I'm going to force Brad. I want to know what Brad says, because I think he's going to have thought about this before today.
You're going to have to come back to me. I've got a few.
Oh.
I've got a few in my head.
Oh, okay. I told the boys one earlier in an Xbox party, and they got mad at me for telling them.
Yeah, it's podcast discussion, not Xbox
Because I
discussion.
look like Stephen Bunting, I was gonna say, the bird is the word song for Family Guy.
Didn't he actually do that, Stephen Bunting?
It's the word.
He used to do it, yeah.
He used to. But they told me off, so I had to think of another one. I couldn't think of anything funny, so I googled funny walkout songs for darts.
Yeah.
And the second one actually resonates with me because of mine and Brad's college time together. And that is Safety Dance.
Oh, that's a good one. That.
What's that?
So if you don't know it, I will sing it.
Go on.
You can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. And if they don't dance, and if they want to dance, there ain't no friends of mine.
And what Fortnite dance
Basically,
are you going to do
goes
to
like
that? What Fortnite dance are you going to do at the same time?
Obviously, I'm going to floss.
Right, okay.
Me and Brad used to sing that in college when it was really when dabbing was really popular. So it became very popular within our hospitality and catering clique that we would then sing, "You can dab if you want to,"
Oh dear.
and we would be in the kitchen and we would dab.
Nice.
So mine's got a backstory to it. So I like
Fair play.
mine.
I like
and
it.
also, I'm gonna go with the Safety dance.
I approve. Fair play.
Whoa.
I've got 2.
Ooh. Brad, come on, greedy bastard.
I've got chlamydia, but you don't pay me shouting everyone.
So the first one is Song 2 by Blur. Just classic.
Nice.
Mate, cliche, come on.
Alright, what about Blitzkrieg Bop?
No idea.
What?
Blitzkrieg
Song
Bop.
so much.
Hey.
Blitzkrieg Bop. Hey,
Oh, yeah.
let's go.
Yeah, but that's what a dart song should be. It should be like recognisable.
Yeah.
And
I like
Very
it.
True.
I like them both. But where's the backstory, Brad? I didn't dab to that in the kitchen, did I?
Story is, it's a
I am
bit
pouring another drink, so apologies for any background noise.
Yeah.
Viewers in the north may be experiencing some technical difficulties.
Oh, I love the Mitchell and Webb look.
Clean up an awful.
I respect those choices. Blur, I'd pick song 2 over Blitzkrieg Pop personally.
What's the other one? Oh, Park Life. I probably actually would walk out to Park Life and just put a bit of a show on.
Nice. Yeah.
It's the pivotal voyage of what is known as
Park Life. No, and then replace it. Replace it with Dart Life. Dart Life.
What I want, except on Wednesdays, when I get rudely awoken by the Dart Men.
By the bullseye. Dart Life.
Feed the pigeons. I sometimes feed the stars too.
All right. That's all.
Yeah, Park Life is my choice. Then. Neither with the device.
A lot.
So, Bean.
Big Daddy Bean.
Well, I was thinking I would probably play, as I like this YouTuber quite a lot.
Oh.
Okay, I like his music.
Fuck's sake.
I would play It's Everyday Bro.
Come on.
By Jake Paul.
Yeah, by Jake Paul.
Assume it was going to be KSI when he said YouTuber.
Same.
And
I actually
Same.
But dress up as a big bird from Sesame Street.
Why? Why not?
Tell that story on this podcast.
It's funny.
Funny.
What's the fair up?
An absolute belt though.
It's everyday bro with this bullseye throw. Hey!
Bacon?
Me.
What is your choice?
Well, my choice is assuming there will be people inside the arena. Because, once upon a time, I think that happened. A long time ago now.
Hopefully.
And obviously, actually, we really need to go to a darts event because funny and drunk.
We do.
Yes,
but
next year when obviously we're going to be.
Yeah. Now this one would get everybody on their feet and doing it, and then right at the end, I could do a bit of a dart throw in the dance, and is the Macarena. 1, 2, 3, Macarena. Easy and simple. Get everybody involved.
But we sort of talk about what we might talk about before we talk about it. And when Baker said he might ask us what our walk-on songs were going to be, in my head, it was either going to be the Macarena or something by the Venga Boys.
Yeah, exactly. The Venga Boys would have been a good show, but I thought, get everybody on their feet, get everybody dancing. Oh yeah, we like to party. Would be fun. Yeah,
I know you almost too well.
Or I'd be a bit of a tune, especially the broader dart scene.
Fair play. Well, all of those songs, very good. But I have some.
Find them in a Spotify playlist tomorrow.
Oh yeah. But I have.
He's looking on the darts.
Yeah. But apart from darts, other things are happening in the world apparently, and apparently Elon Musk is now the richest man in the world.
Elon, massive.
Thoughts?
Sorry, Jeff.
Oh my God, I hate Elon Musk. He got given £1 million and now he's made 200 billion. Ooh. I love how there's people like that.
That's not why I hate him.
You can't blame the man, can you?
Yeah, I don't discredit people who make that money because if the system allows them to, then it's not their fault.
Oh, I get that.
It's the system's fault.
I don't like the people that say there shouldn't be such thing as a millionaire, but I do agree with the fact that I think taxes and stuff should be. What's the word? Scaled.
Yeah. Well, there's that opinion, but you can't blame Elon Musk for being a billionaire.
No, you can't blame him.
No,
because if you can do it, then why not do it?
Well, I don't blame billionaires.
If you were that person, if you were the person that created the Tesla cars and SpaceX, and you became a billionaire, you'd shut the fuck up.
Wait, what? Wait, what did he create?
There's a difference between blaming a billionaire for being a billionaire and blaming a billionaire for supporting the system that lets him carry on being a billionaire whilst suppressing the other 99% of the population.
Yeah. I mean, in an ideal world, you don't want that much money, but you can't blame them. But they even predict in America that the distribution of wealth
from richest to poorest is even worse than revolutionary France.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's that bad.
Well, anyway, one of the things that Musk has got rich from, well, I don't even know, like, maybe, but one of the things he's done, one of the things he's done is SpaceX. And we actually have a space expert on the podcast, special guest. I mean, he's just, he's a guest every time, but Daddy Beans!
Yeah. Before we carry on, I would like to say with Elon Musk, he is a billionaire, but he is using that money to further humanity's reach.
Oh, yeah.
Like, into the future.
Yeah.
I do kind of agree with that.
Yeah, same.
What also made me laugh is when somebody announced that he was the richest man in the world. He then said, "Right, okay, back to work."
Yeah, somebody tweeted at him, "How do you feel about this?" He was like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, anyway, back to work." It was great. Yeah, but Spacey, what's the space update in the news? What's in the space news today, Beans?
Welcome to Space News, and then it's been a very, very busy week for SpaceX this week.
Oh, yeah. Tell us.
So, start from on Monday just gone, the crew that left the JFK Space Center, that went to space to the ISS.
Bob and Doug.
No,
it was last time.
In fact, it was four crew members.
Really?
Yeah, what? It was. There was one female and 3 other guys.
Oh, come on.
So she's having a whale of a time.
Fair play.
So be silent.
Last Monday just gone, the Crew Dragon, the Dragon capsule, actually left the space station to bring back scientific experiments that happened on the ISS.
Ooh. Wait.
Beans, may I interject slightly? I would like to ask a question. Now, because Elon is attempting to land most of his spacecraft to reuse them, is this, and if you don't know, that's fine, but is this the same spacecraft that took Bob and Doug up when he did his first mission, or is it a different craft?
Well, Josh, I have good news for you. I do know the answer to this question.
Oh, yes, Beans.
And it was, in fact, exactly the same.
Really?
Oh, wow.
That took
Bob
and Doug.
Even that just feels like a big jump.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
That's incredible.
It's been used twice, and it's carried 6 astronauts, which is good. Because the one that took Bob and Doug was the first crew manual.
It was the first manned space flight from SpaceX, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
that was it. Josh knows. Fair play, Josh.
Well done, Josh.
I was watching it as well because I thought it was a pretty big thing.
There was like a million people watching it on YouTube at one point, wasn't it?
It was a million on SpaceX and a few million on BBC.
Yeah.
I watched it and I actually saw the fucking capsule, boys. I actually saw Bob and Doug fly past.
It was incredible.
And
I was out there in my garden trying to FaceTime Beans. Is that it? Is that it? Is that it? Is that it? No. It was good, wasn't it, Beans?
It genuinely was. Like, it's mad to be like, fuck, there's actually 2 people in there.
Yeah.
Going, like, so quick. So carrying on from what we were saying earlier about the, what happened on Monday, the capsule that carried Bob and Doug, undocked from the ISS, having been up there for 40-odd days, brought back more than 5,000 pounds of scientific evidence. Experiments.
Yeah.
That's including scientific experiments, food, cargo, all that shit.
Can I add? Sorry, I know this is your thing, but do you know what I think is mad? Is that they have to bring out waste as well. People don't realise this, but everything they eat up there comes in packets. And those packets then have to be... Like, they account, they know exactly how much that weighs. And I think that's insane.
Yeah.
So when that rocket comes back down and it's weighed or checked, they know exactly what the waste is.
Realistically,
I know you're
yeah.
talking means, but how incredible is it? Like, you have to
Yeah.
know these minuscule
is good.
details. It's
It is
brilliant.
good.
In an ideal world, that should be the case all the time, shouldn't it? You know?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's being well
To have zero waste.
recycled so much.
Yeah, zero
I think
waste
that's
on
pretty good.
anything, and everything's done with precaution, and make sure you don't have any extra things you don't need.
Yeah. Fun
Don't
fact: I've been to the Candy Space Center.
Oh, have you really?
5. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
5 or 6.
Fair play.
What?
When
Really?
I was like 5 or 6. Yeah, you can visit it. It's like a visitor center. As well.
Ah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I know that.
I
You know
don't
who
really
else has
remember.
been
I
there?
remember.
Howard from The Big Bang Theory.
I'll behave.
Yeah.
No big. Josh is the only Big Bang Theory liker, yeah. So bog off.
And like
I just had to say because Brad was talking.
It's like 2005 when
Brad
in
hates
Florida.
it. That's amazing.
Where is it?
Yeah.
that's it.
New York.
The only
Florida.
East Coast I've been to is New York. Sorry.
No, it's Florida. So we went to obviously the theme parks and stuff, but yeah, we visited the Candy Space Center as well.
Oh, fair play.
That-
So you
that-
could have
that
gone to
is
Mars,
my
Brad.
dream.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't remember.
So-
it that well.
Let me.
Moving on. This was a very big thing for NASA and SpaceX.
Yeah.
So the
Mm.
4 crew members that boarded the space station, one of them was the very first black person to actually monitor the capsule of Dragon to undock from the ISS.
Ah.
The first person ever.
That's great, man. If we're making such strides in that racial advantage, I love it.
Yeah.
Like,
That's good.
It is
You know-
good. Like,
I know that there's a lot of BLM and all that going on at the moment, and I'm not hugely at a like someone who talks about it loads on my socials or anything. But you know, equality is important, and I think if I've never seen a picture of a black person in space.
Yeah, you're right there. Yeah.
really.
I've never seen a picture of a black person in space, and I don't know if a black person has been to space. And I apologize if that's the wrong term to be using, but I think I want to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get what you
I
mean.
don't know if I have seen it or not, but I want to. Like,
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Here's a
I
fact
don't
for
want to get
you.
into the argument because it's a huge thing to talk about.
Here's
But-
a fun fact for you, though. The first black person to go into space was in 1983.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, fair play.
First African American in space. Guy
Also,
What a man. No
Dude,
count.
Also-
fuck you, Brad, because I've flown in and out of every single New York airport. So you've been to the JFK Center, but I've flown in and out of JFK Airport, LaGuardia Airport, and Newark. So I'm the real winner.
Alright, that means
so
continue.
as SpaceX are still continuing test flights for Starship, if anybody doesn't know, Starship is going to be the first ever rocket to land on Mars. At the moment, they're still testing SN9, that's serial number 9. SN8
The name.
do very well, apart from the landing, but that was all good because SpaceX was very happy with it, which is good. But big news, boys.
Oh.
Yeah.
With SN9, yesterday it did a static fire of 2 tests.
Sorry, Beans, what is a static fire?
So basically, a static fire is where the prototype rocket is held to the base of the launch pad and tested with the Raptors to fire up to test if the engine.
Essentially, they attempt to
Oh, okay.
launch without taking it off the ground.
Yeah, they just
Okay.
test
Ah.
to see if the engines
Okay.
are ready
That-
for test.
That's a much simpler version for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they completed 3 static fire tests yesterday, which is unbelievable.
Oh wow. Fair play.
But at the minute they were meant to test flight today, but they've changed it to the 18th to the 20th. Not sure because at the moment they're changing the Raptors to see still test to find out which Raptors suit well for the flight. And
Beans, can I ask you a
apparently-
question?
yeah.
Question time with Bean.
Yeah.
Question
Q&A.
with the space expert. Do you think and the reason I'm asking this question is so obscure that I'm not even going to mention it. But that was pointless. The question I have is: do you think that the same spacecraft, the same thrusters and seat which the astronaut / passenger will sit in, will ever go to Mars twice? So essentially, the spacecraft will take off from Earth, land on Mars. I know it's a very complicated process, but I'm really dumbing it down here. Take off from Earth, go to Mars, then come back to Earth, take off and go to Mars again.
No, pop down the shop, get a couple.
Ever happen?
Pop down the shop, get a couple of tinnies in between, and yeah, why not?
The answer to that is yes, because
that's the plan. Yeah,
amazing.
That is mad.
That could ever happen.
Yeah.
Well, like that's why at the moment they're testing this SN Starship, because they want to try and take up, I believe, 100 astronauts.
Beans, can you just tell people what SN means?
You ready?
So, I think it's hilarious.
SN is just basically the serial number of the actual.
So SN literally stands for serial number.
That's literally how they name their rocket as well. It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird how like why.
Yeah.
The answer to the question is yes, because they want to try and keep the cost of like having to make another rocket booster just to send another, the same rocket back up. Basically, what they're going to do.
Don't NASA essentially want to build no rockets from now on, and they want SpaceX to create them all because it is fundamentally cheaper because they will reuse rockets.
Yeah.
Yes, SpaceX have reused like, what was it? It was like they with their the Starlinks, the satellites that go to space. They capture the same booster and reuse it again. Like I think it's been one that's been used 18 times. And has had no trouble at all. Obviously, it gets cleaned and all that shit from previous launch.
Yeah. Well, obviously, they want to have spaceships like aeroplanes kind of thing. I know, obviously, it's not the same, but like...
Yeah, that's why they're making this one at the minute, to go to Mars.
Yeah.
So they can, like, flip over and do a manual flight of an actual aeroplane.
Couple of tricks going around. Fair play.
And also... Elon wants to try and build a launch pad where the rocket launches, and when the booster comes back to Earth, they want to try and capture it with the launch pad.
Oh, wow.
So, like, they're going to build an arm.
Yeah.
Like a robotic arm to actually capture it, so they can reuse it again.
Fair play.
If I could really, really dumb this down, because I don't really get space exploration that much, and I'm trying to. But if I could really, really put this into layman's terms, it's that they want to make space flight as efficient and almost easy as commercial flight from, say, Britain to Spain.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, it's not going to be that quick, but that's essentially the same type of levels they want to hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow! Oh my god, that's
Mad,
incredible.
Yeah,
like those the aspirations alone are incredible, but the fact that they've started to manufacture and
not just started, just actually doing it already, kind of thing. The rocket tests and everything.
Sports and gaming podcast is brilliant.
Yeah, I know, right?
What really amazes
like Watch Mojo, my favourite sports and gaming thing.
What really amazes me is that as they are testing the next Starship, they've already built the next one ready to test.
Yeah.
Within about
Do you
2
know
weeks.
roughly how long it takes to build one? If you don't, it's fine. But I'm just curious.
More than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
They've been working on serial number 10 for about 2 weeks, and it's almost built.
Oh wow.
So let's say
Not
3
true.
weeks.
Well, the physical
Yeah.
building is the easy part.
What?
Obviously, it's the planning, the engineering
like
of
the
everything,
blueprint.
putting together
What?
is obviously.
Do it the night before, like the uni assignment.
Yeah.
It is.
Gonna spare. We got a flight due
Mind-blowing.
tomorrow. Let's do it tonight. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair play.
it's mad.
Tomorrow night.
But yeah, space facts with beans, boys.
Well done. Thank you, Beans. Thank you,
go back
Beans.
in.
Love it.
Sorry, mate.
You got one final random space fact to see us off.
All right, go on. Fun fact, man.
Lift us off.
Go on.
I believe last year they actually sent a chicken nugget to space. The last one.
This is the
No, they genuinely
No,
did.
let's go.
They genuinely sent a chicken nugget to space.
Oh wow. Did they eat it?
So they sent a monkey, a dog, and a chicken nugget. So
My 3 favorite animals.
If you want a real representation of this, watch Space Force on Netflix.
funny.
That's incredible. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Guys.
Well, yeah, that was good. That was boysies. Fair play.
There we
I've got
are.
to say, from behalf of all of us, thank
Yeah.
you so much for listening to episode 5 of the podcast. We realise there's been a bit of a gap between 4 and 5, but it's been Christmas and New Year's, and, you know, things have been undecided. We finally recorded episode 5, and we're glad you guys are listening to it.
And we've accidentally made up for that by having it 30 minutes longer. So there you go. You're welcome.
Exactly.
Basically, 2 episodes in
We've got
one.
to just say, we know we don't have a huge following yet, and that's absolutely fine. And we're so thankful for everyone that listens.
Yeah, thank you very much.
But
Everyone.
we'll keep going no matter what. Innit?
Exactly.
real.
We
Yeah,
could
100%.
absolutely drop off with zero listeners, and we'd be happy because we make this because we love it.
Lovely stuff.
Yeah, man.
All right. Thanks for listening. And GG.
GG.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.